Hello, Internet. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. On today's episode of the DNA Sports Recap,
should the Jazz pursue Jrue Holiday?
In Major League Baseball, the injuries are starting to pile up. Let's break it down. All that and more. My name is Darren. That is AJ, and this is the DNA Sports Recap.
Roll the intro.
How's it going, AJ?
I'm doing good, buddy. Real good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Once again, folks, if you're listening to us on the podcast, we appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. Please feel free to leave us a rate and review and give us a follow and all that good stuff on the audio podcast. If you're watching this live on our YouTube channel during our live stream, please feel free to jump in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, again, drop in the comments. Let us know what your take is on everything we're talking about. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's talk about a little bit about Utah Jazz basketball.
Let's do it. Before we get into the content, we like to encourage you to join the conversation in the comments down below. While you're down there, consider subscribing to Utah Jazz DNA. Smash that like button for your boy Darren.
That's right. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk some Jazz basketball, dude. We are less than a week away. It's actually Sunday where the draft lottery happens, by the way. And conveniently, we are taking next week off, as you do. Most important Jazz news in like a year, and we're not going to be here for it. Maybe we should do some kind of like live stream once,
My daytime job really screwed me on this one.
So
okay.
It's happened Sunday. So like we can do like a remote, like go live reaction.
Oh, yeah, we could do that.
After we.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
So yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Be sure to join us for that. Yeah, we'll throw a link in somewhere for it.
Yep.
Before that, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the news that kind of broke over the week here for Utah Jazz. And let's go ahead and get started with it, man. The trade rumors are starting.
Yeah.
So this one, the most recent rumor, AJ, this one is coming from, it was about Jrue Holiday and the Jazz potential interest on him. The rumors are linking Utah Jazz to Jrue Holiday and still mostly it's speculative, but it has popped up a lot over last week. So yeah, here's basically what we're talking about. So when it comes to who has been mentioning this, multiple NBA insiders, Jake Fisher from the Stein line has reported that Portland is looking to basically field trade interest when it comes to Holiday this offseason. Utah Jazz have emerged as one of the theoretical fits for Holiday's services, just simply because we know we're now moving out of the rebuilding stage and more into the try and compete phase of our timeline here. And basically because of that, these obvious moves are indicating that, like the trade for Jaren Jackson Jr. at the trade deadline last year. Analysis believes that with Holiday's kind of versatile defensive play, playoff experience, ball handling, he would be addressing major weakness for the Utah Jazz.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. And he would be. I mean, Holiday is a 17-year NBA vet who's played in 1,090 career games. He's averaged 32 minutes per game while shooting 46% from the field and 37% from three in those games. His best season from three came in 23 and 24, where he shot 42.9% from three. So for his career, he's averaged 15.9 points, 6.2 assists, 4.2 rebounds, and 1.4 steals per game, which is very impressive. He's pretty widely known as probably the best one of the best defensive guards in the NBA. Even to this day, he's a 6-time NBA All-Defensive Team selection. He's a 2-time NBA champion. He won a championship with the Bucks in 21 and the Celtics in 23. So how does he help the Jazz? That's pretty simple. All he's got to do is be out on the floor with one of the best young cores in the NBA. He's got great leadership. He takes pride on the defensive side of the floor, which is just contagious, right? You have a guy out there like him that, paired up with Walker Kessler, Jaren Jackson Jr. That's contagious. That energy to play good, tough defense, that could immediately turn this into one of the premier defensive teams in the NBA. Then you throw in that he's a lockdown 3-point shooter. that makes good decisions. He could absolutely make this team a lot better. No doubt about it. Should the Jazz pursue him is the question that I think we're trying to answer here.
Yeah.
And I just don't know. I don't think so.
Well, yeah, let's start first with the biggest obstacle I think that jumps out to me, which is going to be the salary.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so Holiday is roughly making about $35 million a year over the next 2 seasons. So we already have 2 of those guys on our roster already. We have Jaren Jackson Jr., who's making over $30 million, and we have Larry Market, who's making over $30 million as well.
Yep.
Not to mention, you also got to pay Walker Kessler. Like, if you want to bring him back, he's going to be in around $20 million. You want to extend Keontae this offseason to his, to buy him out of his, restricted free agent year.
You almost said arbitration.
I almost did say arbitration. I did. But yeah, you want to pull him out of that before he gets into that unrestricted free agent season.
Yeah.
And so you're looking at, how many tens of millions did I just mention? 80,
70, 80, 90.
90 million. And
on
then
4 players.
On 4 players. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so now you want to absorb a $35 million contract for the next 2 years. I don't think you really want to do that now because you don't even know who you have on the court right now. And also, it's also been reported that, Holiday wants to stay in Portland.
Right. He went back to Portland on his own.
Yeah.
He was traded, but that was his selection of teams to go back to.
Yeah. He doesn't want to come to Utah. He blocked a trade to Utah last time.
Right.
And decided to go to Portland instead. Like, we already had him. We already were going to trade for him outside of before he went to Portland and then ended up in Boston.
Yeah.
We had a trade coming in for him, and he blocked it. So
he was like, yeah, nah.
Yeah, what makes you think this is going to be any different? So that's the other problem. Portland's motivation is obviously there. They're trying to clear up some long-term salaries, open up some backcourt minutes for some younger players, and also preserving flexibility and trying to pursue, and this is what I love, this is coming from SLC Dunk, trying to pursue flexibility so they can go after Giannis Antetokounmpo or another star-level move. Why the other star-level move I agree with, there's no way Giannis is going to Portland.
That is correct.
We actually had somebody comment on one of our videos that the Jazz should push the chips in the middle and try and trade for Giannis. And while I appreciate the go for it kind of attitude, Giannis has made it very clear he's not going any further west than he already is.
Yeah.
He wants to be close to Greece. So, yeah that's why it used to be New York. That was the only team he wanted to go to. I think maybe he's open to maybe Brooklyn or possibly Miami. But yeah, he's not going any further west than where he is. I don't care about the contract. He wants to stay close to Greece. So I don't know, man. Obviously, there's many Utah media outlets and podcasts that have discussed this as a perfect fit for Utah. Again, the stylistic is obviously there. He's a great fit for what we're talking about here, is for what the Jazz need. Most of the coverage, though, still has it as a logical landing spot versus actually confirmed talks. We don't actually know in the short term if there's anything that has actually linked Utah to Portland in these trade talks at all.
Right.
So why I think it's a good rumor and I think it's a good fit historically, it hasn't happened, and we don't have any evidence that it actually is happening now. So I don't know. I think this one's kind of, I don't put a lot of stock into this.
Yeah, I think it's just all theoretical, right? And I mean, in this theoretical conversation, my biggest concern would be, what do you have to give up to get Jrue Holiday?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, is it Bryce Sensabaugh and future first rounds? And I mean, this is a crazy package to match salaries for a guy that makes $35 million a year.
Right.
It's too much, really.
Yeah, buy Bryce Sensabaugh right there, man.
I mean, Sensabaugh's for sure gone.
Yeah.
I mean, Isaiah Collier pretty much has to go.
Yeah, Isaiah Collier, Bryce Sensabaugh. Well, maybe one of those two can stay, but I think you're right there.
Yeah.
Because Keontae, where you put Keontae, does Zace then go to the bench?
I mean, that's the thing is, if you're Portland, are you accepting a trade that doesn't include Keontae George,
or one that doesn't include Ace Bailey?
Well, exactly.
You know,
either one of those guys.
Yeah.
And as a Jazz fan, you're like, no, we can't lose either one of those guys.
We're not trading either one of those. Maybe they would go after Cody Williams. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's going to, whatever we want to give up is not going to be what Portland wants.
Yeah.
I think. And so we want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. We got some comments here from Greg Hawkins. Go Jazz. Appreciate it, man. You also got 3 more outs to go in this game, gents. I guess you're talking about the Cubs game, man. I'll have to see. We need to get that pulled up. And then we also have Jazz Force. I'm going to go with that from now on. Whenever he logs in, I'm going to go Jazz Force.
It's Forge.
Forge? Oh, Jazz Forge. Yes. Gonna go with that. Jazz Forge. I think that's probably the way to go about it. We got a comment from him. Maybe Delta can launch a direct SLC to Athens flight for Giannis. Yes, private charter Concorde. Right. Let's do that. Let's bring back the Concorde.
Hell yeah.
Who cares about FAA regulations? Let's have that supersonic jet fly from here to Greece. Let's do that.
I'm good with it.
I'm all right with it too.
Doesn't bother me at all. Yeah.
You start the campaign there.
Yeah, the GoFundMe.
And we'll be there. We'll be there. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's kind of interesting, man. I mean, more rumors to come. We'll talk about it as we go throughout and kind of cover those in greater detail as they come through. But let's kind of go ahead and shift over and talk a little bit about something that's more current.
Something that's actually happening in the NBA, which is the Minnesota Timberwolves and NBA playoffs. And one of the biggest stories in past years, right? There's always been this like speculation over the years, including his years with the Utah Jazz, that you can't win the playoffs with Mr. Rudy Gobert. He's too one-dimensional. Even though he's great defensively, his inefficiency on the offensive side of the ball, it can be isolated and exploited. And in playoff games, those are the two things that you can't have. You can't isolate any one player, because if you can exploit one, you can break a whole team down. We watched it with the Jazz.
Right.
We watched it happen in real time as Jazz fans 4 or 5 years ago. So, but the Timberwolves just took down the Denver Nuggets, who were NBA champions just 2 years ago. They're looking good in the series so far against the Spurs, and a lot of that was very much due to Rudy Gobert. So my question for you, my good friend, is it time to give Rudy Gobert some credit for all the things he's done in this series and the things he has gotten so much grief over the years?
Yeah, so that's where I want to start, about the grief over the years. I think it's a great place to start where we lead into it. So the narrative has been definitely shifting from what his time was when he was here with Utah, right?
Yeah.
I remember when Rudy, the rumor was, the saying was Rudy got exposed in the postseason, right? Teams, especially the 2021 Clippers, would neutralize him by running smaller lineups, pulling him out of the paint, forcing him in to guard in space, right? The 2021 Clippers series became like the defining example of how, Utah would repeatedly allow dribble penetration, and then Rudy Gobert would rotate to protect the rim, and the Clippers would just kick it out to a wide open corner three, right? Social media and TV commentaries simplified that into Rudy Gobert cannot guard the perimeter. And even though many analysts later argued that Utah's perimeter defense was collapsing before Rudy ever had a chance, I think a lot of the narrative was that, Rudy just can't, for somebody who's got a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year award, this guy can't defend in the playoffs when it matters. Now, okay, so let's take that and let's see who he's playing with now, right? So now he's not carrying the defense alone. Gobert is now playing with Jaden McDaniels, Anthony Edwards, Naz Reid, and other long physical type defenders. Minnesota knows how to pressure the ball. Minnesota knows how to switch on action more, on pick and roll. And they also know how to recover out on shooters, which allows Rudy to stay closer to his strengths. And this never stood out more than it did against, like you mentioned, that series against the Denver Nuggets with Nikola Jokic. Gobert wasn't isolated in the way that he was often with Utah. Utah was, again, everything went through Rudy, right? The Wolves defense is more connected of a unit, and Rudy was able to basically be the final layer of the defense versus the only layer of defense when it came to Utah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quinn Snyder's thing was like, drive him to the baseline, push him in towards Rudy, and let him handle it, right?
Yeah. That was literally the defensive scheme.
Yeah, and which obviously didn't work. Now Minnesota has won their series that you mentioned with Denver 4-2, largely because of the Denver's entire offensive structure just got knocked down by Minnesota's defense, right? And Gobert was the anchor of this one. Against Gobert, Jokic had, statistically some of the most efficient playoff basketball he's ever had in his career.
Yeah.
In Game 3, Jokic shot just 7 for 26 from the field, while Gobert controlled the paint. Through many games of this series, analytics basically noted that Jokic was a jump shooter, and he was looking uncomfortable and rushed because Gobert stayed disciplined and kept his feet on the ground and did not bite any of his fakes.
And he does it a lot too.
Yes.
I mean, Jokic is known for faking 5 times to get you off your feet and then I mean, that's what he does. That's why he goes to the line 20 times a game.
Yeah, and again, one of the stats that is circulating heavily was showing that Jokic was 12 for 41 when directly guarded by Rudy Gobert in the first 3 games of the series, shooting 29%. It also doesn't help that he was not his 3-point percentage was terrible during this postseason. Which again, you have a 7'2" Rudy right in front of your face.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot harder to shoot threes.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to shoot threes
in
over
that scenario. Absolutely.
Yeah, versus shooting over some of these smaller guards. So Rudy Gobert is, definitely outplayed on the defensive end, and some of those, and he never had to gamble for blocks like he had to do with Utah because he had help on defense. He was able to stay vertical, cut off easy passing angles, which actually forced him to be more with like fadeaways and floaters and kind of try and settle for a deep 3, right?
Yeah.
And again, the Minnesota perimeter defenders, kept Denver's smaller players in check. So when it comes to that, AJ, there's one other person that's mentioned this that I can't take credit for because it came from David Locke first. When Rudy Gobert is at his prime, he's a top 10 player in the league, simply because of his ability to change a team's defensive structure. You take Rudy Gobert, you take him off the Timberwolves, they're a bottom 10 defensive team.
Easily. You
put him on, they're one of the best defensive teams in the NBA.
Yeah.
The problem was with Utah, they say the narrative was, Rudy Gobert can't defend. The rest of the Jazz had zero help for defense. It was all on Rudy. All their guards were undersized. They didn't have length. They didn't have height, and they just simply didn't guard anybody. They were turnstiles. So
I would say aside from like Royce O'Neal was a good defensive player.
He's more than a wing than a guard, though.
Correct. Definitely more.
During his time, he played the 2-3 role a lot more.
Yeah.
More of a 3-and-D kind of guy.
But I mean, he was the one. You know what I mean? He was guarding the team's best offensive player if they weren't a center.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and in that case, like I said, it's all fell on him or a role player to come in there. So I think that's really the narrative. I don't think necessarily Rudy did anything different this postseason. I just think that the Minnesota Timberwolves did a better job of utilizing Rudy to his maximum potential and the rest of the roster.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I mean, the Timberwolves have done a really good job filling out that roster with defensive talent, which it was always going to help Rudy, right? It's always going to put him in a situation where he can be more successful because he can play his position. They ended up with a great matchup. I mean, as scary as that sounds to have the Denver Nuggets in the first round, that's a really good basketball team. And Nikola Jokic is a 3-time MVP for a reason because he can do it all. But that's a great matchup for Rudy.
For sure.
Right? I mean, especially when he's down to the paint, Rudy can guard him there. Minnesota's long enough and fast enough that they can guard him out on, at the 3-point line, and Rudy can stay home because there's nobody else down there that even remotely threatens Rudy.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think they have the same type of matchup with the Spurs and Wembanyama coming forward.
Oh yeah.
So because Wembanyama is a very similar player to Jokic, just bigger and a better blocker.
I agree.
I think this is another advantage that definitely favors Rudy. Rudy is bigger and stronger than Victor Wembanyama is going to be. I think advantage Rudy again. So
they're both French teammates too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're good friends. Yeah, for sure.
They know each other pretty well. Yeah, when it comes to that, man, we want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below when it comes to Rudy. Do you think it's really time to put to bed that narrative that he was a postseason defensive liability versus, really was just the rest of the Jazz not being able to defend when it comes to that in the postseason? We want to hear from you in the comments down below.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey there, AJ.
Yeah.
So we're on the outside of the playoffs looking in, right?
Again.
Yes. Hopefully for the last year or in a while.
Not hopefully, for the last year.
That's right, because they're winning 50 games this year, next season.
Hey, that's on the internet.
Yeah, it's out there. AJ put it out there. That's our benchmark.
That's our marker.
So since our team is out, AJ,
yeah,
who's your favorite team to watch the rest of the way, and why should the rest of Jazz Nation follow suit?
I gotta go Timberwolves, dude. I just got to.
All right, ready line.
I mean, the big thing is like, I was a huge Rudy Gobert fan when he was here in Utah. Right, he was a part of the community. He was super involved when he first got here. He was always out doing stuff. You could find Rudy, and just being a person, taking pictures up on the mountains and
He is a person.
But I mean, being a person, right? Like being involved in the community,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
just out and about in the malls. Like, so Rudy's one of my favorite players in the league. The fact that he's on the Timberwolves just happens to be a fun fact. But how cool would it be to see Joe Ingles get a ring?
Oh, dude, that'd be great.
I mean, especially, check out our video from last week. We talked about Joe Ingles last year. He's pretty much officially announced he's looking to get an NBL contract and back, to head back to Australia. And then Mike Conley's on the Timberwolves. Love Mountain Mike. He came here and played a lot of really good basketball for Utah.
His only All-Star season was with Utah.
Just a stand-up dude, though.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, Mike Conley's been one of the best teammates of the year. I mean, he's won that award multiple times. Like, just a great guy. You'd love to see him and Rudy and Joe Ingles. Hell, I'm all for Kyle Anderson, right? He was with the Jazz for half a year.
Half a cup of coffee.
Still half a Jazz man, for as long as you want to call it for. So there's enough Jazz, ex-Jazz players on the Timberwolves. You got to love Anthony Edwards. I don't know how you feel about him, but kid's a hell of a young player, man. Like, does he run his mouth a little bit? Yeah, but hell of a young player.
Not in a way that really,
I don't think he's super disagreeable.
No, I don't think so.
I think he's a young kid that talks to the media and says what he thinks, and
yeah, which is refreshing.
Yeah,
but he's also not,
But he's not just your typical NBA robot answers.
And he's also not just a typical NBA player. You can accept somebody speaking out of turn, not necessarily out of turn, but basically out of step with what the rest of the players do when they're good. So I don't know. I find what he says refreshing.
Yeah.
I don't want these players to be a robot, dude. You shove a mic in their face, you expect them to answer a question, you're hoping to get a soundbite. You can't get mad at them when they give you one.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
yeah, but no, I agree with you, man. I think that's really interesting. Lots of good storylines when it comes to the postseason for former Utah Jazz players. In this one, obviously Rudy in Minnesota with Mountain Mike, and obviously Joe Ingles with that team. But we also have JC in New York, playing for the Knicks, who have a series lead against Philly, at least at the time of recording, anyway. They had a 1-0 series lead there, and I believe they're playing right now. One of the most interesting, though, in my opinion, AJ, has got to be back east.
Yeah.
And this is going to be Donovan Mitchell in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Spida has not led a team to a conference final in his career.
And at the time of recording, are currently down 1-0 to the Pistons.
Yes.
I think they're playing right now, though.
Yeah. Again, everything like this ages like milk when we do these weekly shows. But anyway, when it comes to that, dude, I don't know if you remember the conversation, the post-game conversation when the Jazz won a playoff game. And Shaq said, "Hey, you're a believable player. You're an unbelievable player. I think you're super talented, but I don't think you got what it takes to take your team to the next level. And I want you to hear that from me." And he went, "All right." Remember that?
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of "all right" T-shirts and "all right" stuff, and like that with the Utah Jazz logo.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I hate to say it. Maybe Shaq might have been right, dude. As I'm sitting right now, man, this is really kind of your last chance to do so. The Cleveland Cavaliers are going to either get LeBron back next year, or B, goes back to Miami. LeBron, this is really kind of going to be the last time where it's a Donovan Mitchell-led team. And if he doesn't do it this year, the chances of him doing it when he's another year older and getting his team, a team that he leads to the conference finals, it's looking harder and harder for him to do, man. Do I think he won't make it to the conference finals? Do I not think he's going to make it to the finals? Do I think he's not ever going to win a ring? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is when he is the primary option on a team offensively, he has not been able to get into a conference final. And if he doesn't do it this year, I don't think it's going to happen.
I think it's definitely a big concern for Donovan, right? I think that could maybe not get into his head, but he went to Cleveland with the hopes that was their final goal, right? Like you've got to get us to the championship. You're the guy. He's played some good games in this playoff series so far. He didn't get quite as many calls. Did you see all the comments about flopping after game one?
Yeah, geez. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he's just saying, I don't flop. I play legit basketball.
Yeah, even LeBron says he doesn't flop,
But the thing was, is Donovan didn't get calls. He only went to the line 6 times.
True. I just think they call it a lot tighter in the playoffs than they do during the regular season.
I think they do, but I think that's Donovan.
Why.
And look, I'm a Donovan Mitchell fan, but I think he plays a straight up game, though. You know what I mean? he's always trying to finish a play. He's not trying to get foul calls.
No, he's not
trying
hard.
to score.
Yeah. That's the same reason why James Harden always fell in the
But
playoffs.
if you're fouled, you're fouled, and referees have to call that.
I don't know, man. I think they call it a lot tighter.
They do, absolutely.
I think they allow a lot more physical contact.
Absolutely. But then you look at the Oklahoma City game, and SGA gets 22 foul calls and goes to the line all these times.
He's an MVP.
But
on a championship team.
Is it tight or is it not? You know what I mean?
It is tight, but you can't argue. Like I can, I love this, dude. I love this debate because I can talk this all day long. Until we have some type of robo officials or some type of contact sensors, you have to deal with favoritism in the league. MVPs and champions will always get favored calls when people like Donovan Mitchell, who's simply just an all-star, never been an MVP, never won a title. He's not going to get the same calls as SGA. He's not going to get the same calls as
Jokic
or anybody.
LeBron.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know. I think the NBA is kind of tired of his flopping, so who knows? But when it comes to that, man, I honestly think that, that's something that if that's the narrative that they're pushing, that he's not getting the calls.
Well, I don't think it's them pushing it. This was my opinion.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, Donovan didn't push. I mean, he made the comment saying that he didn't get a few calls, but I don't think it was super hard narrative or anything.
Okay, well, that's fine.
It was just a very casual comment in a conversation.
Okay, well that's probably fine then, because he's never been that type of player to complain about.
And he wasn't.
That would be like way out of character.
To be clear, he was not. That was my opinion. That he and in my notes, I literally have, he has to find a way to get to the line, right? Yeah. To be that guy, you can't score just 20 points in this game. You need to score 30 points in this game. You've got to take your team to the next level, which involves like getting to the line 5 more times for 10 more points, or playing defense on 3 more runs down, or finishing the game out, right?
Playing defense.
But that's the whole thing, right? Is like this team needs the next step from Donovan. And if he can do that and get them to the conference finals, I have faith that he could go to the next level and take them all the way to the finals. Because if he can dig deep enough to find that extra gear, once you have it, you have it. But he hasn't had it yet.
I would have to agree with you. If they get past this series, I think they should be. Yeah, they're going to be in the title. They're going to be in the finals if they get past this series. But that's a big if. That's asking Donovan Mitchell to do something he hasn't done before. So I'm and keep in mind, just like you said, we are Donovan supporters on this channel.
Sorry, I was doing the Donovan, bro.
I gotcha.
I
thought you said I, and then you were gonna pause for dramatic
I was just
effect.
saying
but yeah, no. So when it comes to that, man, we are Donovan supporters on this channel. He gave us his best years of basketball. Oh, not his best years, but he gave us a lot of great years of basketball.
Great years of basketball.
Yeah, I think his best year was actually in Cleveland, though. But he's given us a lot of great years in Utah, and he really kind of helped us out a big time when Gordon Hayward made the decision that he thought was a bigger deal than it actually was. Like, if it wasn't for Donovan Mitchell, man, Jazz fans would have been in a depression mode
for a
long time.
Yeah.
A long time. And he pulled us out of that really quick. And so
next season.
Yeah, we were literally in love with the dude right from the get-go. We're like, Gordon Hayward who? Who cares? So, and, it's all due to him. So,
Then Gordon Hayward plays 4 minutes and breaks his shin bone in half.
Was it even 4 minutes?
It might not even have been that long.
Yeah. And, good for him that he was able to come back from that and still sign another max contract somehow with Charlotte. So good for him, man. Good for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I really think there's a lot of stories to come in and out of this one, and that one with Spider Mitch is going to be the most interesting one to me. I don't know.
Sorry, is Gordon Hayward retired now?
Oh yeah, he retired last year.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah,
that sounds right.
Season. Yeah.
Okay.
We want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. As a reminder, folks, we did launch a channel specifically for Utah Jazz called Utah Jazz DNA. I don't need to say that because we actually put that on the end, so we're good to go there. Let's hit a few of these comments here. We have this comment from Jazz Forge, and New York is now up 2-0. Clarkson off the bench, 8 points, 5 rebounds,
2 dreadlocks.
Nailed
awesome,
it, dude. I love it. Love it.
Love Jordan Clarkson though. JC's the man. I do hope the Knicks can get. I would love to see Jordan Clarkson, take it into the next series.
I would love to see Jordan Clarkson versus
Donovan Mitchell in the
who actually plays defense in that game.
Nobody.
I think JC does. I think
JC plays more defense than Donovan.
I think he will play. I think he will body up a.
Oh yeah,
there for sure.
He is too.
Yeah, That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Appreciate the comment. All right. Let's go ahead and pivot on over and talk some baseball, man.
Let's do it.
But first, before we get into the content, folks, we'd like to encourage you to join the conversation in the comments down below. While you're down there, consider subscribing to Major League DNA and make sure you smash that like button for your boy AJ right over there.
Do it.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and talk some baseball here. Let's get over here and get this over so we can actually see what we're doing over here.
Well, just put it on that screen.
We totally should have put it on this screen.
Yeah, I mean, that screen's like way bigger.
It's way bigger. It's completely blank. One of these times we should show you behind the scenes and kind of how this set looks on the other side.
It's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, it's great how we do this.
You wouldn't guess that this is that it looks like what it does.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that.
A lot of people still think that's a green screen behind us.
It is not. That is a real wall.
Yeah.
This is Darren's actual office.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so folks, when it comes to Major League Baseball, the honeymoon period is over for this season, AJ. We're starting to see injury bug start to bite players left and right.
Yeah.
And one of the most notable ones from last week was Tarik Skubal.
That's a rough one, man.
Yeah. Tarik Skubal showed some signs of discomfort. This was actually back on May 1st.
Against?
The Atlanta Braves.
That's right.
So, which is really funny, AJ, because this is what cameras caught him like rubbing his elbow and his forearm after the pitch, right? And he actually called out the trainers. So usually, I mean, I watched the Dodgers do this in 2024 like 6 times during the season where the pitcher started rubbing his arm. They called the trainer out, and that guy's gone from Tommy John. Like that happened like 6 times in 2024 for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I'm like, oh crap, he's done. You know, calls the trainers out, starts rubbing his elbow. He's like, yeah, something's not right. Something's not right. You know? And then he's like, let me throw a pitch. He throws a pitch. He goes, yeah, I'm fine. Guys, go back to the dugout. Sends him back to the dugout. And he continues to pitch.
Right.
Striking out the side.
Unlikely it was the Braves.
So this was the Braves on May 1st. So yeah. Normally, man, they're straight to the training room and being like, let's get some scans done. Despite all that,
yeah, like no matter what, you need to go get this checked.
Yeah. Finishes striking out the side after calling out the trainers, which never happens. A few days later, during a throwing session, the discomfort level returned and imaging revealed loose bodies in the elbow. When have we seen that before?
Oh, it was
Edwin Diaz for the
That's
Dodgers.
who it was, yeah.
Edwin Diaz.
Loose bodies.
Loose bodies in the elbow, which is never a good sign, AJ. There's not supposed to be loose bodies in your elbow.
No, and it's either bones or cartilage.
Yes.
Either one are bad.
Either one are bad. And it could, so the Detroit Tigers decided surgery was necessary. Again, like we said, very similar to Edwin Diaz, expected to miss 2 to 3 months, assuming there is no ligament damage. Dude, contract year, dude. Contract year. The guy was on pace for a $400 million contract. Now, if he comes back and he actually pitches out the rest of the year, and does well, I don't think this impacts him too much. But, you already had one Tommy John, and now you have a bunch of loose bodies in your elbow, potentially from that surgery.
You'd think they'd clean that shit out when he was getting his Tommy John surgery.
Well, I think it's just scar tissue after you, get back up to it. It starts to,
I was just kidding.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah. Clean that stuff up when you're in there.
Yeah. Is there any loose bodies floating around there while you're doing Tommy John? Can you get those out too?
Yeah. This is supposed to be a minimally invasive surgery.
Yeah. And it says, and the recovery time actually says a minimum of 2 months, but realistically,
you have to get built up again.
Yeah. And yeah. So that's the thing is you're not going to be throwing for 2 months.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you've got to get out there and get back into game shape, and it happens pretty quickly. So,
nice.
I mean, the rough news for this is the Tigers team, period.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I mean, Reese Olson, Justin Verlander, Jackson Joby, Troy Melton, Craig Mize. Those guys are all on the injured list right now, which is
Craig Mize.
Isn't that what it? Casey? Oh, I have Casey. I might have auto-corrected it.
Yeah. First.
That's my bad.
First, Dylan Crease. Now, Craig Mize.
Did I say Craig?
You say Craig Mize. It's all good. It is Casey Mize.
Oh, I have Casey Mize. Okay, I just said the wrong thing then. Yeah, Casey Mize. So, those guys are all. I mean, that's a huge part of their rotation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Those guys were counting on getting quality innings from.
I don't know. Verlander, you kind of expected him to be hurt.
I mean, he's 462 years old. Of course, he's going to be hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The dude's barely alive, let alone healthy.
Yeah, I'm not surprised there. Casey Mize, that's a blow, man, for sure. and we'll get into why that's even worse coming down the road when we talk a little bit later. But yeah, man, absolutely. This is not good for a team that was actually trying to push in the middle to win.
Yeah.
In the last year that they were going to have Tarik Skubal on the roster.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it hurts a lot, man. But hey, he's not the only one we got to talk about. Let's talk about the MVP on the best player on the best team in baseball.
First of all, SB equals MVP.
That's right.
Okay. My boy Ronald Acuna Jr. Last week was diagnosed with a grade 1 hamstring strain. It was confirmed by MRI, and it was serious enough that it wasn't just going to be a couple of days to get him better. So they had to put him on the 10-day IL. This is really tough for the Braves, right? Like, this has been a really good team, arguably the best team in Major League Baseball. And Acuna was having a great year health-wise. He'd started every single game up to that point where he had that injury. So, you take him out of right field, the Braves are going to be forced to put Mike Yastrzemski out there. Michael Harris Jr. or Michael Harris the second was also battling a hamstring injury. So they've had him moved over into left field. They've got Mauricio Dubon playing center. They've got a bunch of changes that they've got going on, subbing guys in and out. So really tough to lose Acuna out and right. You just hope that he can get back in and stay healthy the rest of the year. I mean, Acuna was Harris was, when he was battling his hamstring strain, he was actually still DHing. So it wasn't so bad. Like, he wasn't playing the outfield, but still hitting, actually had 2 or 3 game-winning hits that pulled games around for us. So you just hope that when Acuna comes back, he's not battling this one for the rest of the year. So me as a Braves fan, I would much rather him just not do anything for 10 days and come back and be healthy and play the rest of the season. Because as soon as that thing starts going longer, you know how hamstring injuries are. They just linger.
Oh, yeah. I'm honestly surprised that this is a surprise to anybody.
He doesn't have the greatest injury history.
And he played in the WBC.
Right.
In a year that it was notorious for anybody with injury history, they did not let them play, but they let Ronald Acuna Jr. play for some weird reason. The Braves are like, oh, you're the highest paid player on the team. Yeah, you go. You go ahead.
Yeah.
You go ahead. Which is fine, but the fact that, this is probably the best news you could get given the situation.
Absolutely.
If you actually thought Ronald Acuna Jr. was going to make it through this year without getting hurt,
right?
You're like, I don't know what baseball you're watching, but that dude get hurt is.
And the thing is I think you expect, you know what I mean? Like, this Braves lineup's been relatively healthy for these first 35 games.
Yeah, and on top of that, he isn't exactly the force of your offense as it's been so far this year.
No,
Matt Olson's been playing out of his mind. All these other players are stepping up, and really, Ronald Acuna Jr. hasn't really been the guy on that team recently. So I don't really know. This is a great time for this to happen.
Yeah.
Don't give it 10 days. Give it a month, man. Let him rest up. Get healthy. Do whatever you can.
Can you do 2 back-to-back 10 days? Or after a 10-day, do they have to go on to a 30-day?
I don't care. Put them on both.
I was just wondering if you can.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure of the rule.
The Braves are fortunate to be playing in the only division where they're the only team with the winning record.
Correct.
So I don't know why you would even or even risk bringing him back.
They did lose their first series today.
Oh yeah, well,
the first series they've lost the whole season.
Yeah, which is fine. Like I said,
yeah,
a team like the Braves, you don't want them peaking now.
No.
So what you want to do is you want to allow this injury to play its roll out, let him come back healthy.
Yep.
Send him down in the minors, let him rehab for a week or two, and let him be the DH down there, and just kind of like let him come back naturally. You don't want to rush this one, man. I just don't think it's worth it.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I don't think this really hurts the Braves at all, because they're just playing well, and if you're going to have him go down, now's the time to do it.
Yeah. No, and as a Braves fan, we're totally good with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you'd rather sit him for a month now than lose him to the end of the year where you're going to need him out in the outfield, and also you're going to need his bat. So
yeah, speaking of the Braves, you know who they play this weekend?
I do not.
They play the Dodgers in LA.
Do they really?
Yeah.
This weekend?
This weekend. They have an off day tomorrow, starting next day. So Friday. They start, yeah, the Braves are coming into LA to play the Dodgers. Speaking of the Dodgers, AJ.
Go Braves.
Speaking of the Dodgers. AJ.
We might have to get together this weekend to watch the Braves and Dodgers game. I'm going to tell the wife.
I like it. I like it. So as we are talking about the Dodgers, and we quite regularly do on this channel, AJ.
We do
talk a little bit about the Dodgers. You know, when you win back-to-back World Series, you win 3 out of the last 6 years, you do something worth talking about. You're going to talk about it, right? But I keep hearing about how the Dodgers are the most hated team in baseball, right? Which is a bit weird when you think about it, AJ. It's a little weird, right? Because who are you going to hate on this team? Who are you going to hate? Shohei?
Nope.
The nicest player in baseball?
Yeah.
Mookie Betts, first ballot Hall of Famers that you said last week. He's a class act.
Absolutely not.
Freddie Freeman.
I love Freddie Freeman.
This guy literally tells everybody who gets on first base, hey, man, nice hit.
Yeah.
Yoshi Nobunaga.
Doesn't even speak English. You can't be mad at him.
Bro literally pitched the whole World Series by himself last year. You going to hate him? You going to hate Blake Snell, the SoundCloud rapper who streams 2K and MLB The Show? Dave Roberts? Like, is he, like, you going to hate on Dave Roberts?
No.
I mean, he was twerking against Ice Cube. Remember that one in the first World Series? The Ultimate Players Manager?
It is kind of a tough team to hate.
Yeah, if you're going to hate who are you going to hate? Will Smith?
You're like, I just hate this team, the stupid Dodgers.
Oh, Teoscar Hernandez. No, that dude's always smiling. Always
super nice to fans.
Yeah, smiling, super nice to fans, hugging everybody else on the field out there.
Yeah.
So there's like really no players to hate on this team. Or is there?
Just in the last couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah, we have good tidings for folks out there that want to hate on the Dodgers.
Yeah.
There is a player for you to hate on the Dodgers. And I think Temmie Price, a friend of the channel, Temmie Price, Dalton Rushing.
Public enemy number 1.
All right, AJ, why don't you run it?
Yep. So after the Dodgers lost to the Rockies, Rushing called the Rockies' swing decisions fishy, saying, I think it's odd that some of those hitters do what they do. They go up there and they're on the first pitch that was thrown. It's a little fishy, but I'll wear it. So right there, calling out Rockies hitters for
the Rockies,
saying that they weren't good enough to be running with it, which they won that series, didn't they?
They did. No, it was a push.
Oh, it was a push. Okay. But I mean, still the Rockies got 2 on the Dodgers, and
yeah, well, a lot of people are getting on the Dodgers right now. So
yeah. Another situation, after Rushing tagged out Giants outfielder Jung-Hoo Lee on a play at the plate, Lee fell to the ground, was clearly injured.
Of the Wind. Coolest nickname in baseball.
It was caught on camera, just because it's obviously an MLB game and every player is recorded on camera. But Rushing shrugged him off, saying, F him. And continued walking to the dugout.
Okay, so now on that one, man, like you turn around, you look, you see the guy still on the ground, and he's like shaking off,
Yeah. Like clearly shaken up. You just turn and walk away back to the dugout.
Does Eddie Catcher turn around and go over there and ask how he's doing?
Absolutely not.
No, it's just the fact that you caught on a hot mic saying something.
Yeah.
Not a good look.
Yeah.
Not a good look. But what happened like in the next game? Did you have that? What happened in the next game?
Well, in the next game, he gets hit by a pitch, right?
Yeah, Logan Webb.
Yeah.
For that.
So because of that, Logan Webb's like, yeah, nah. Bam, beans him, send him to first. And then I'm pretty sure there was a ground ball hit on the next play. The next hitter hits a ground ball. And instead of going to the bag, he chooses to go directly at Giants shortstop Willie Adames. Adames. Okay, that was close, man. It's how it's spelled.
I've heard it both ways.
That's a prime. Yeah. Anyways, on a double play ball, he goes directly at him in no way, shape, or form to the bag to try to take him out, which the Giants weren't super fond of.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Yeah. So I got to ask you a question on this one, though. So like, he gets beaned, right? Does he chirp back at the pitcher?
No.
Does he get in the catcher's face?
No, not at all.
No, he knew exactly why they threw at him.
Yeah, he knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was fully aware. He's like, okay, I guess
he's
I
like,
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he goes to first base. He's like, watch this.
Yeah.
He's
like, hold my beer.
You got to love that, dude. You got to love that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but, Dalton Rushing for Dodgers fans is a bit of breath of fresh air. Was that the last example you had, or do you have any?
I got one more.
Okay.
There was a lip read. Against the Cubs.
Oh my gosh,
Greg, if you're still watching.
Greg, this is great.
Where Miguel Amaya there's a ball thrown into the dirt and it bounces in front of him. Amaya takes off to second. He throws the ball up. He's safe. And he's again seen mouthing fat F after he stole second on a ball. So just one more reason.
Yeah, and it's really funny because his the batter, I think it was Ian Happ that was in the batter's box. You could see him going like, "What did you just say?"
Yeah,
and like in an interview, he goes, "Oh yeah, he did say that.
He definitely said that. Yeah,
I wish I would have like stood up for my teammate a little bit better there. I'll just so taken aback by it. You know what to say."
Yeah,
but honestly, in that one, man, like he was more upset at himself than he was at the player. He's like, "How did that fat, you know what, steal a base on me?" Like, that's what he was saying. He wasn't, And I don't think he really is that fat, to be honest with you.
No, he was definitely not. I saw the replay.
Yeah, but
just a standard sized person, playing baseball. Like there's fatter pitchers that go out there than that guy.
Yeah, so I just thought that was pretty funny. But when it comes to as a Dodgers fan, though, let me tell you this from a Dodgers perspective, right? Dodgers fan perspective.
Yeah.
In case you didn't notice, Oh wait, we're kind of blocking that.
Yeah, you don't even have any Dodgers fan gear behind you.
No. I'll have to
it's probably because we're still on Utah Jazz DNA.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow, we've been slacking there, AJ.
Rookies.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything either.
Yeah, thanks for the chat, guys. Appreciate it.
God, you guys got to help us hook up our backgrounds or our overlays.
Where's
hey, there we go. Major League DNA.
Where's McKinley when you need him?
Yeah, welcome to Major League DNA.
Do you remember when McKinley used to comment that, "Hey, guys, you got to change the background"?
You didn't change the color. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so as a Dodgers fan, man, he's a breath of fresh air, right? This is a team full of Boy Scouts, and it's been a while since we've had a guy who can get underneath the other team's skin like this, the way this guy does. I love that when he got plunked, he immediately slid into the second baseman when he was trying to take the bag to break the double play. He didn't chirp back to the pitcher. He knew they were throwing at him, and he decided to do something about it. Every team needs an enforcer type player, and it's been a long time since the Dodgers had one. And he's actually hitting this year. Yeah, he's talking, he's running his mouth, but he's actually performing well. So
is he a rookie?
No. Technically, no. He was brought up. Well, Tammy, let me know in the chat if it's different. But I think he was brought up.
I thought I saw this was his rookie year.
He was brought up to be the backup catcher last year.
Okay.
So I don't know if he started the season or if he was called up. And I can't remember if Austin Barnes was released in the middle of the year or at the beginning of the season. I don't know. I think this is in his rookie year. I think this is his second year. Tammy, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong there. But yeah.
She said no, he isn't.
Okay, great. Appreciate it. Thank you, Tammy. Friend of the channel, Tammy Bryce. And also channel legend, Cubs win, as we were just talking about the Cubs. Yeah, man. I mean, Ronald Acuna, not Ronald Acuna. Marcell Ozuna was this player for the Braves for a long time. Chase Utley was that way for the Dodgers, and then before that, he was that way for the Phillies. Just some old school baseball player that wasn't afraid to run his mouth and get underneath the team's skin a little bit. Kind of the Joe Ingles of the Dodgers, if you would put.
Love Joe Ingles.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think that's kind of interesting. So I think it's good for baseball because again, it gives players, fans of other teams, a chance to,
actually hate
on somebody.
Yeah.
I think it's healthy.
Oh, right? I love that.
Oh yes, absolutely. You're perfectly right here. He came up middle of the year and sucked. Yes, he did. Absolutely, he did. And then, yes, you're right, Tammy, friend of the channel. How do I forget Joe Ingles?
Joe Kelly, not Joe Ingles.
Sorry, not Joe Ingles. Joe Kelly.
Joe Kelly too, though.
Joe Kelly too. Yeah, Joe Ingles, Joe Kelly. Yeah, Mariachi Joe himself, sticking up his pouty lip and throwing directly at the Houston Astros, like literally at them, which was hilarious. We also have a comment here from Greg Hawkins. I mean, Ohtani is still a lot of people who think that he's guilty of gambling. Yeah, well, I would really like to see any evidence supporting that whatsoever.
But my big thing is you think the FBI didn't investigate it?
The FBI, if they had a chance to take down, you see what they're doing with Chauncey Billups. You see what they're doing with,
all of these guys that are involved in sports betting.
Yeah, you think they wouldn't have a chance to take down, a foreign player who's the biggest name in baseball? That would do wonders for the FBI to have that kind of collar. If there was any evidence to support that he was the one gambling, you don't think they wouldn't have gone all over it? I don't know. It's kind of me. It's a lot like the moon landing thing. Like people who say the moon landing was faked. If that was true, you think the Russians would have let us get away with that at all?
We had this conversation.
Like, honestly, if you were going to do it, do you think the Russians would have let us get away with it? Absolutely not, right? They literally have satellites in orbit over the moon, If they were like, oh yeah, there's no landing site down there. Should we say anything? Nah, we're good. It's just like, yeah, I don't know, man. As far as it goes, man, I think, Shohei Ohtani, honestly, he's just too busy, man. A lot of the bets happened when he was either A, like pitching, or B, like in the dugout when he wasn't near his phone, but his interpreter was. So was he saying, hey, go ahead and do a parlay on this and this and this, why he's game planning for the next inning? Like, doesn't make any sense.
He was saying it in Japanese, so no one knew what he was saying.
Yeah, and he never betted on baseball, so even if it was him, it technically wasn't illegal. He wouldn't be banned from baseball because his interpreter never bet on baseball. So it technically doesn't break any rules.
Yeah.
So even if he was.
Right.
So I don't know. I just have a hard time with that one. It says, my personal opinion is that if Ohtani was on their team, they'd be defending him. Yeah, true. That might be part of it while I'm defending the heck out of him too. But I don't know, man. I have a hard time seeing like
maybe the FBI people that were investigating were huge Dodgers fans. They're like, yeah, exactly. I think it's going to be fine. I mean, it happened to be an LA field office. They're massive Dodgers fans.
Yeah, but if you think about it, like with the NBA, right? Chauncey Billups, all these other players, you can see it, right?
Yeah.
Pete Rose, you can see it. You can see how that guy was a gambler, right? You can see when you see these guys and you see like kind of like the way they are off the field, you can kind of see where they kind of get it. Shohei Ohtani, really?
Yeah.
Like this guy? Like how's he? When is he gambling? Like that it just doesn't seem like an Ohtani thing, in my opinion. I don't know. I really have a hard time with saying that with that one. But anyway, there's a few crazy things I want to talk about when it comes to Major League Baseball that happened over the week, AJ.
Yeah.
First one is going to be, did you know that every team over the last weekend in the NL West was on a 4-game losing streak?
That's insane.
Every team in the NL West. That's a division that has the Dodgers and the Padres in it.
Okay? They clearly weren't playing each other.
No, they clearly weren't. Which we'll get into that a little bit later. But so it's, that division, 4-game losing streak, which is insane. I saw that. I'm like, there's no way. And I looked it up. Sure enough. Yeah, absolutely. For every team in the NL
pull
West,
up the division and every team's got L4.
L4 at the minimum. L4, L5, L6.
Yeah.
Another shocking thing is that the Colorado Rockies are not the last place team in the division.
No?
Yeah. Sorry, Giants.
The Rockies don't look as bad as I thought they would.
No, they really don't. They really, really don't. And here's another crazy thing, AJ. There is no team in the NL Central that is below 500.
I would love to know when the last time this happened was.
Yeah, this one's weird. This far into the season too.
And how about Greg? How about the Cubs leading the way at what, 24-12? I guess they just lost 24-13 maybe.
No, he just said the Cubs win. So,
they did win. Yeah, so 25 and 12.
25 and 12.
Yeah.
Man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cubs leading the way. You know what's really funny about that is that if the Pirates at 19-7 would be in first place of 2 of the 3 AL divisions.
Correct. That's insane.
The last place.
Last place team in the division.
Yes. And here's another crazy thing. In the AL Central, there's not a single team above 500.
Are you serious?
Everybody in the AL Central.
What teams are in the AL Central?
Cleveland.
Horrible.
The White Sox.
Double horrible.
I don't think it gets any better than that from there.
Yeah, they're just bad teams.
Yeah, so there's no good teams in the I think the Royals are in there too. Kansas City Royals.
That's a little bit surprising. I mean, they weren't supposed to be a horrible team.
No, but yeah, there's not a single team with a winning record in the AL Central.
Yeah.
And there is only one team in the NL East that is above 500.
I don't know who. Yankees? No.
I said NL.
Oh, yeah, they're AL. I'm still working on divisions in baseball.
Yeah, it's the Braves.
Oh, NL East.
Yeah. Every other
Braves.
team underneath the Braves
Yeah.
has a losing record. So, yeah, that's good. That helps you get to 25 wins.
Sure does.
When everybody in your division.
Played a whole lot of teams in their division, though.
Yes, but so if you go in that NL.
I mean, they swept the Phillies. Phillies are in there. They haven't played the Mets yet.
Mets are terrible.
The LOL Mets.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't remember who else is in that division, but.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Just a lot of crazy things going on in baseball, man, when it comes to that. I just thought that was very interesting. And a comment from Greg Hawkins said the Cubs just need to bulk up some pitching at the deadline, and I think that they'll be a World Series quality team. Hey, they're running away their division right now, I think, man.
You gotta love it, though.
And everybody's winning in that division, too.
Yeah.
Everybody penciled in the Brewers as having that one. I wasn't so sure. I thought eventually they would fall off, and I think that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Braves are great, too. Great, Greg Hawkins, you know your audience there on that side of the
Thanks,
fence,
buddy.
sure.
Appreciate it. Go Braves.
Cubs are 18-3 in their last 21.
That's insane.
That's really
That's
really
insane.
good.
Yeah.
That's really, really good. Have you noticed that's a baseball thing? Like, you will go back to when you didn't lose like 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Like, out of the last like 21 games or the last, you know, like that's very much a baseball thing that we do.
We'll take that stat.
Yeah, I absolutely love it though. But it's 100% true. That's you can't argue with that stat. 18-3. That's insane. That is insane. You got anything crazy for us, AJ?
I do. Did you see the Framber Valdez suspension?
You remember us talking about this guy last year?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. You want to run this?
Yeah, absolutely. So he, Framber Valdez was suspended 5 games after hitting Trevor Story. It was a game against Boston, and Valdez had just given up back-to-back home runs.
And the game was already 7-0 at the time.
And the Red Sox had just jacked the lead up to 10-2 after those 2 home runs.
Yes.
So they were way up. And this is the top of the 4th inning.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, it's already a pretty good ass whipping at this point. And he throws a high and tight pitch to Trevor Story that goes off of his hand or something. Benches were cleared. I mean, the bullpens come out.
Of course, the bullpens come in, right?
We still love this, right? That's absolutely useless. Like, the whole fight's over by the time the bullpens get there. But
I love it. You know what?
You know something cool's happening when there's a bunch of pitchers and catchers running down there at half speed. So Valdez did end up, he kind of defended himself through his translator in a post-game interview, saying that it wasn't intentional and that he was just trying to throw strikes after giving up consecutive home runs, and went on to say that the ball just came out of his hand funny. So I don't know. What are your thoughts? I mean, this is for the Tigers. This is terrible news after just losing Tarik Skubal.
And everybody else you mentioned at the beginning of the game.
Everybody else that I mentioned.
Yeah, this guy was the guy. Keep in mind, you did not want to extend Tarik Skubal on a contract offer, but you're willing to pay this guy the same price that you were arguing Tarik Skubal, the 2-time Cy Young Award winner, didn't deserve.
Yeah.
But you paid this guy that money.
Yeah.
Which is insane to me. But no, dude, honestly, if you want to ask me, I just think before the 4th inning even started, he wanted out of the game. And he knew that if I plunk a guy,
if I just go for this,
he's like, I don't want to. He's like, I'm done. I don't want to. I'm done. I obviously don't have it. I'm not pitching well.
Yeah.
He's kind of a crybaby. We talked about how he threw at his own catcher last year.
Yep.
The guy's kind of just a what. And yeah, I think he at the time going out there, he's like, dude, I'm already like, this is terrible. I don't have my stuff. I'm not playing well. And after the back-to-back home runs, he's like, dude, I need out of this game. He looked over at the thing, looked back at the bullpen, realized no one's coming. So he's like, you know what? F it.
Watch this.
And he throws.
So what's crazy, though, is a 5-game suspension in Major League Baseball for a pitcher. That's like.
He loses 1 start.
You delay 1 start, 1 game?
Yeah, he loses 1 start.
Like, that's it, though.
Yeah, I think they'll just skip his turn in rotation, honestly.
Yeah, because of losing Skubal, they're already in.
True. Yeah,
they're already throwing bullpen games. 2-3 innings a pitcher.
That's okay. You can win the World Series doing that.
I'm not saying you can. I'm just saying when you're down 5 starting pitchers and then you lose your 1 quote unquote ace that you still have on the roster for 5 more games.
Yeah, Framber Valdez is never an ace though.
But I'm saying he's the
best pitcher you have.
The best pitcher they have available.
Yeah, baseball fans out there got to be careful. Too loose with the term ace.
Yeah.
Too loose with the term ace.
Fair enough.
Just like NBA fans are too loose with the term superstar.
Yeah.
You have to be like a all-star starter to have that status. In baseball, you don't have an ace. There's only really true like 5 aces in MLB. The top 5 qualifying for the Cy Young, I think, would be considered an ace.
Okay. And
whoever your team who's starting opening day on your roster is your team's ace.
Yeah.
Technically, it's not, aces come from like the fighter pilots, the flying aces. Like
Chris Sale's an ace. Ace. Do we need to argue this? That can be a topic for next week. Is Chris Sale in the top running for an NL Cy Young? The answer is yes.
He already is a Cy Young winner.
I know he's won a Cy Young, but I'm saying this year, does he compete for a Cy Young?
Yeah, as he stays healthy, yeah.
Absolutely.
So I wouldn't, but would I put him as your ace though?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess since Strider's coming back,
He is.
But if you had the choice between Chris Sale and Strider, both healthy, who are you going with? I'm going Strider all day long. Quadzilla.
Yeah, I mean, Strider just started in his first one back from his rehab assignment. Didn't look great.
He's not going to, man.
I know, but I mean, he looked super dominant in AAA for the Gwinnett Stripers. You know what I mean? Like 8 strikeouts. It's like, yeah, you handled those AAA players.
Absolutely love it. Jazz Forge says in here, rhymes with pitch. Nice. Exactly. We're talking about Framil Valdez. Absolutely. As a you-know-what, for sure.
Yeah.
What I really love is that A.J. Hinch went on record saying he didn't really feel good about supporting his player when he went out there and tried to defend him after what he did.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, dude. Do you know who A.J. Hinch is?
No.
Okay. You know what? What team did Framil Valdez pitch before he was with the Tigers? The Houston Astros.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah. Guess who was the manager of the Houston Astros during the trash can banging scenario? A.J. Hinch.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So you were willing to manage a team that was doing that for years, cheating and using foreign technology and stuff like not foreign technology, but outside influence, the technology to cheat for arguably 3 years. And you're like, oh, I broke a TV. I made my point clear. I broke a TV. You were the manager of that team. And you didn't have a problem with it when you were winning World Series and division titles and everything. But Framil Valdez throws that at somebody because he's being a little, you-know-what. I
think it rhymes with pitch.
Exactly. And now you have an issue with it. I just have a problem with AJ Hinch and anybody from that team coming out and saying that. That's just rich coming from somebody like that. Anyway, folks, we want to hear from you. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Do you have any comments regarding baseball this week, over the last week? We want to hear from you. If there's a story we missed, we'd love to hear from you. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think of the 2 topics on this episode. Something we might look at doing, just kind of focusing. It's kind of fun to just be able to go into 2 topics for 30 minutes.
Yeah, and then just kind of randomly talk about whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. So let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below.
Absolutely. As a reminder, folks, this channel did hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, on our live stream, or watching the podcast after on YouTube, we're giving the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to 5 subscribers. Once we hit $500 in AdSense revenue, we're giving that away. 5 subscribers will earn that money, $100 each from us.
Yep. And if you're watching on YouTube on one of our short videos on a sub channel, just know this is available as a podcast in its entirety, wherever you get your audio.
With all that said, my name is Darren, that is AJ, and this has been an episode of the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.